This video is going to be about how to organize your media after you get done making a shoot, whether it be for DSLR, whether it be with drone. Having your pictures and everything organized is very important. And then you can take them into your post-production process. Like my choice is DaVinci Resolve for video, and then my photo editor of choice is Lightroom and Photoshop combination. So we're going to step into the screen, and I'll kind of go through the process here of how I go about doing my organization before I get them imported into Lightroom. All right, you can see my screen here. So first thing I usually do is hook up the drone to my computer, or take the SD card, hook it up to the computer, and then I find a location. Now I have a drive dedicated to all my drone footage and things like that. So what I tend to do is I come down here. Let's use the latest one I did. This was from 2025, the month and the days. That was the 15th and 16th. But you can see other things I have here are the year, the month, the day, and the location that I've shot. And the reason I do that is it's easier to go back through. Here's 2024, 2025, and so on. This gets you prepared for importing your media, whether it be from an action camera, a pocket, a drone, iPhone, you name it, whatever you got your pictures on, your media on. This is what you can actually create a repository for these. So let's take this one. We were in Williams, Arizona. We took a little trip back in October. So if I click on this, so you can see here I've got 2025, 10, which would be October, 15th and 16th in Williams, Arizona. Then what I do is I take this same title and I create a subfolder called 2025, 10, 15, 16, Williams, AZ for Arizona. And then after that, I put the word stills, because you're going to have video in here, you're going to have stills in here. And for me, getting it into Lightroom eventually, I need to have it kind of separated out. So let's go ahead and open this up. You're going to see I've already pre-built this one, but I'll kind of go through the process with you. So if I double click on this, you're going to see that I created the 2025, 10, 15, 16 Williams AZ stills. I have my iPhone. I have the hyperlapse that I took with the drone. I have my wife's iPhone. I have the Osmo Action 4. We took a Pocket along with this. And then I have my panoramas. So what I've kind of already pre-sorted this already. So what I did is I dump all the information from the drone into the main root folder of the Williams AZ. Once it all gets copied in, then I sort by type, sort by the type here. So I can get all my DNG files and my JPEG files, highlight all those, and then I drag them into this folder here for stills. This is going to be important for coming into Lightroom. But if you double click on this one, you're going to see that I have all my DNGs, my JPEGs in this file folder. Let's go back up to the root, and like my iPhone right here, you can see there's my iPhone media. Hyperlapse is going to be the different hyperlapse, which I don't think I took any hyperlapse in this one, but this is where your hyperlapse folders would go. My wife's phone, here's the Osmo Action, which there is some media from that. This is more for post-production for video, but you could take stills with the Osmo Action. You come down to the Pocket, which I haven't imported yet. And then there's a panos. If I double click on that, there's nothing in the panos right now. Eventually I'll import the panos in from the drone as well, because I did take several panos. I believe I took one hyperlapse too, so I'll have to go back in and take a look at that. So let's go back to the root. So you can see here in Williams AZ, these are our stills. This is going to be important, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to come into Lightroom. And I tend to use Lightroom Classic. I like having my media, and I have a NAS storage here on site. So I tend to like that, using that locally instead of in the cloud. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to come into Lightroom. You're going to see this is my public data folder. So I'm going to click here and zip. I'm going to click there. And I'm going to, this is where I'm going to import from. These are my source folders. So you're going to see Bob's data, but you're not going to see this folder yet because I have not imported it yet. The next thing you're going to see down here are my collections, and we'll go into collections here in just a bit. So let's go ahead and let's do an import. So we're going to click down here on import. Okay, and we're going to come over here to the data folder, and we're going to scroll down till we find the latest one for Williams, Arizona. And now instead of clicking this folder and importing, because you're going to see videos, I really don't want to import videos. I just want the stills. So I'm going to click the little drop down here, and you're going to see stills. Because you can see Lightroom will see the videos, but you can't do a lot of post editing in Lightroom for video. At least not the way that I would like to do it. So let's go ahead and go down to stills, and now you're going to see all the stills from Williams, Arizona, the different things I took. You're going to see that I took, what's it say, 48 photos here. Yeah, about 48 photos. And you can see they're all check marked. Now we're going to get ready to import. And you can say just add. And that's by the default. Add the photos to the catalog without moving them. This is important. You don't want to move them from the location you imported them to from your external hard drive or your NAS or whatever, but you just want to take and point Lightroom to say, these are where the photos are at. Okay, so now you're going to come over here and you're going to see if you have any kind of metadata you want to put in. If you've got your copyright information or whatever, you can make a custom metadata when importing. Right now, we're going to import. And you're going to see it's going to import all 40 something photos. Okay, so once it gets done importing, we're going to do the basics. I'm not going to talk about keywording or keyword lists, things like that. We're just going to bring in the pictures into Lightroom. Okay, so now you're going to come over here. Actually, you're going to see this folder now called 2025 10 15 16 Williams AZ stills. So once you click in there, you're going to see all these pictures have, from our trip. Okay, now the next step would be, let's get them into a collection set. So what I would do is I would come down here and let's put this under travel. You can see I have a lot of different things. I have collection sets for landscape, holidays, family, drone. But this one, we're going to put this one in under travel, and we're going to make a collection set. It's like a banker's box. Think of it that way. We're going to make a collection set. So we're going to come back up here to collections. We're going to hit the plus symbol. We're going to make a collection set. You click on this, and let's name this Williams AZ October 2025. And I'm going to put it inside of a collection set. I don't want it in birthdays. I want it in travel. Now you can see I have a lot of subcategories here. So it's going to take a minute or two. We're going to slide down to travel, and that's where we're going to put this collection set. We're going to put it right here. So now we're making a new collection set underneath the main collection set of travel. So we hit create. And then what should happen down here, we should have Williams AZ 2020, October 2025. All right. So now we're going to come up here. Now, this is how I organize mine. You can do it any way you want. That once we get it moved into a collection, we're never going to touch the folders again. We're going to never touch these. So we've got Arizona stills. Come up here. On a PC, hit Control A. That selects all. A Mac, I think it's Command A. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So now we're going to come out down here and we're going to say, you're going to right click on this. And you say, create a collection. And what we're going to do now, we're going to say, create a collection. And it comes up to, it wants to call it the folder name. I don't want to do that. I actually want to call this my full shoot. And full shoot means that this is everything that I shot when we went on that trip. And we're going to make it inside of a collection set, which we created one a while ago. We're going to come down to travel. And there's Williams, Arizona. So now we're going to create a collection inside the collection set of Williams, Arizona. And we named it Full Shoot. This is going to be very key going forward. So we go ahead and hit create. Okay, and that's done. So now what I would do generally is just collapse that part because I never want to go back into folders again. I want to work in my collections. So now I would come down to my collection. I would go to travel. I would go to Williams, Arizona. You're going to see a folder in here or a collection called Full Shoot. That Full Shoot has 48 pictures in it. That's all the 48 pictures I took. All right, you've got this far. This is great. The next step is let's figure out what pictures and shots that we want to actually do a lot of post editing on. You're not going to want to sit here and do all 48 pictures, although some people could, but you want to whittle it down to what you think your best shots are. And my process could be very different from yours, but what I tend to do is I end up going through, clicking on the first picture. All right. And I keep it in full screen like this. And I use the right and left, the right arrow key and the left arrow key. The right arrow key goes forward and the other one goes back. You don't want to spend a lot of time on this. This is just like, yeah, I do want to spend some time on this picture. I might not. These are not your best, but these are going to be ones that, there's some promise there. So, and then once you do want this picture, you just hit the keyboard P for pick. And then you're going to see what's going to happen. So let's go through these 49 pictures real quick. So I don't like that one too much, that one. And you're going to know that I have a number of pictures in here that are auto exposure bracketing. That makes things a little more difficult, but we'll go through that towards the end. So let's see what we can find. These seem to be auto exposure bracketing here. There's a panel. I do want to work on that one. So there's a pick. I just hit P. There is a 360. These are good to put on Facebook or social media that you can see a 360 of. I might want to work on that a little bit. So let's hit the P. This is another bracket shot. I'll show you how I handle the brackets here in a minute. That's interesting. I'll see. Another panel I'll work on. Okay, this was a Santa Fe Dam. So yeah, like that. Actually, that was actually probably, this is a bracket shot again. So we'll go back through there. Another bracket shot. You can tell I like to do the brackets a lot. There's another panel. Let's see. No. Another panel I'll work on. Another 360. I'll pull that in. I see a little bit of a shadow there. This is us at the Williams. So this I think is not a bracket. Let's see. A little overexposed, really, but you know what? We can work with that. Let's go ahead and pick that one, and let's go. Well, let's do that. You know what? I can pick these. I tend to like the little. Go there. Try that one. I like that one better. This is a bracket shot again. So another 360 downtown Williams. And then we're back. Okay. So now we're back. So we just took that as 49 pictures. Let's go back to grid mode. And you can see now we have so many that were flagged that we call picks. Once you do that, you can actually filter by the picks like this. And it's going to show you that we've got 15 of the 49 selected. That's how quick we got through what we think we want to work with. Now you got 15 pictures. You're going to hit Control A or Command A. You're going to come down here to this full shoot collection, and we're going to create another collection. And we're going to call this one select pics. I'm sorry. We're gonna name this one pics, and we're gonna put it inside the collection of the Williams, Arizona, and include the pictures that we have here. And we're gonna create. So now we have, as you can see, now we're building up the structure. We have the Williams, Arizona full shoot of 48 pictures. Now we have pics of 15 pictures. Okay, those are just the ones we thought we'd like. So now we're going to take, and out of these pics, now we're going to go back through and we're going to double click on it, go back to full, and say, now these are going to be our selects. And these are the ones we're going to work with and take the time to work with exposure, color, dynamic, vignetting, whatever we want to do with it. These are the ones we're actually going to spend our time on. So we're going to go here. And so this one, I would hit the number 5 key. This gives it 5 stars. I'm not worried about 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. We're just going to worry about the 5 stars. These are what we want to work with. So real quickly, again, we're going to use the arrow right. And we're going to say, yep, we're going to work with that one. Put that a 5-star. Yep, that's a 360. I don't know about that. Pano, yes. And I'm going to work on that one. I like that. Another panel I'm going to work on. No. 360 again. Which one am I going to use? Which one do we have here? Then we'll work on that one. I think that's got a little more promise. That one's going to work on 360 again. So now at that point, we've made our 5-star select. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the grid. We're going to say, show our pics that have 5 stars. And we've narrowed that down to 10 pictures. So now we're going to go hit here, Control A. We're going to say right click, create a collection. And we're going to call this selects. And we're going to make it inside the Williams, Arizona. And we're going to include these pictures right here. And then we're going to come down to create. So now you've seen right now I may not go and edit these now, but you're going to say, hey, we went from the Williams, Arizona. We got our full shoot. We took our full shoot. We whittled it down to 15 pics out of 48. And these are the selects I want to do that I'm actually going to work on. And then once you click on your selects, you're going to see here, like now you can double click on this, look at it. Now we go to the develop module, and that's a whole nother video on how to get the right exposure, highlights, shadows, clarity, vibrance, things like that. This is something that will be the next video that we'll do. And I hope this helped you get organized and import it into Lightroom. Feel free to stop the video and rewind and go back and see, or message me, comment in the video and let me know that this is something that you need a little more help with or more clarity on, and I'll be glad to make another video or I'll respond to you. Thanks for watching.